Strange, strange game. All right. Very cool. Um, just gonna put this on the old FB or actually, you know what? I'm gonna put it on the old because I said I was gonna start doing that and I didn't do it on the Patreon.
Did you figure that out or?
Well, it's just when you put a link to the live YouTube, it's pretty much embed URL and it's just basically running live on
Oh, so
there.
it's not running live on Patreon. It's Patreon people get the link.
Yep.
Okay, gotcha.
I'm gonna do that and then we'll be good to go. And publish. Done. All right, buddy.
All right,
I shall start the pod. Here we go.
let's do it.
All right, everybody. Welcome back to Task, a podcast brought to you by the DVR podcast about HBO Max's brand new hit starring Mark Ruffalo, Task. I don't know why I'm giving it such like a happy intro. It's not a happy show. Like, okay, I should come up
Task.
with a
Hey,
task,
everybody.
everybody. Yeah. Hey, come watch these Delco freaks fuck up their lives this week on
Task.
Task. My name is Axel. That voice you hear is Heath Solo. I'll say hello to him and then we'll do the intro stuff. Hello, Heath.
Hello, Axel. Intro,
Intro
which
done.
means I started. We're gonna pause. Oh, that's the Run DMC song. Pause.
Ah, there
Okay.
you go. I like it.
All
And oh gosh, see, you mentioned Run DMC, and then my
right.
whole childhood flashes in front of me.
It's trick
Um,
to rock
I know
around.
that's what I was gonna say.
One
Tricky,
card
one of my
Monty. Yeah.
favorite songs of all time. Anyway, check us out at dvrpodcast.com. Go to patreon.com/DVR. If you like to support independent podcasters, guess what? We're not super famous people doing a podcast and just talking to friends. We're trying to dive into this show, expose things, bring your thoughts and theories to light. And we have some people who actually help us maintain our independent podcasting. And we have a brand new patron just this morning, Angie. Angie,
And gee.
thank you so much. You're amazing. I want to thank Jen, another new patron, Jen, another new patron, Billy, who shares my namesake. Billy, love you. Laura, Adrian, Jakob, Samantha, so many new people lately because we've been covering Alien Earth, which we just finished, and we're covering Task. Soon we'll be covering Mayor of Kingstown and something else. I don't know. I kind of like doing all these pods. So I just want to thank everybody. We had a bunch of reviews for Task and a bunch of reviews for Alien Earth, and I just want to basically take the time to thank everyone who's been reaching out to us and listening. And I'm looking at the numbers, and we're doing very well. And it just from all over the world. We had a review from England for Alien Earth and for Task. It's great stuff. But we're here to talk about Task.
I thought you were gonna say we're here to talk about Alien Earth.
No, we're
Okay.
here to
Oh, I
talk
got
about
confused.
Task episode 4, All Roads, directed again, just like last week by, her name is, I think, Shari Whitfield. She directed the episode last week as well. And this one was written by Brad Inglesby, our showrunner, and David Obzud, who is actually a sheriff in the East Town Police Department that Brad Inglesby approached to be like a technical advisor for Mayor of Easttown, and he then started writing with him. And now they wrote this episode together, and he worked on the story arc, I believe, for the entire series.
Oh
He
wow.
helped work that out. So this is similar to like David Simon, who was a reporter. So whenever he wrote something, he worked with cops or even sometimes criminals to get the actual story. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, David Simon interviewed me when I was in jail at the Pokey. It was good. It was a good interview though. It
Yeah,
helped. Yeah.
that's good. Did he take your phone, or that was the one with the Cowboys or the Flyers logo on
No,
it?
definitely the Cowboys on it. Unfortunately, but yes, not no Flyers. Bruins would be if we're going
Oh,
hockey.
okay.
I'm like Boston
Get a little
Bruins.
Boston there.
A little Boston
Um,
in there.
well, what an amazing episode, Heath. I had a lot of man, these shows just fly by. With this show, I look at the how much time is left, and they're solid hour-long episodes or more. And by the time it's over, it cuts to black, and I'm like, wait, that's it?
I know.
I'm always left wanting more. I don't know. What are your overall impressions? We learned a lot. Obviously, we'll go over it, but overall,
I I have a little different opinion, and this is very rare for me. I enjoy the episode. I love these characters. I like where it's going. Episode four is kind of the bridge between the first three and the last three. I
yep.
just felt a little confused this episode.
Okay.
I felt a little frustrated, and I didn't love the episode like I love the other ones. I liked it. This is a great show, and I'm in, and I'm excited to talk about it. I've only watched it once, and I just felt, I don't know, a little stagnant, but like things are happening, but then did they reveal something and we're supposed to figure it out? Because I have questions and
Okay.
confused. So that's why I need some clarification with some
I
things.
listen, for those of you who have been listening to us podcasts for almost 20 years, you may already know that I'm so excited that Heath has a bunch of questions for this show. Beep, 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 beep. Breaking news.
Like you use.
This will be a Heath has questions episode.
Yeah, not not
Okay.
not 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 like the old days where sometimes we just say, I got 10 questions, one
I want to
hundred
hear
thousand
them.
dollar pyramid. Okay. I want to jump into something that's been on my mind since we watched the episode. Me and my wife were confused. We rewound. It still didn't make sense to me. So
Okay.
let's jump right in. This meeting in the park. Fentanyl,
Right.
Cliff, and our boy Robbie are going to unload the fentanyl so they can move on with their lives, go to Canada, whatever. Now, we didn't see anything. So to me, what I interpreted is that Grasso is the leak and the mole. And
Okay.
this is why.
Okay.
We
Lay
didn't
it
see
out.
any. So the motorcycle club has the Flyers phone and they're getting texts.
Right.
How did they get that phone?
Okay.
Someone had to lift it from evidence and give it to them, I'm assuming, because
Right.
Grasso is then hoodied up, said, I'll text him,
Right.
you know. And so there didn't seem to be any texts on the phone from Grasso on the Flyers phone.
Right.
So,
Exactly.
so he's fake texting and
Well,
gave the
this
phone
is
to the motorcycle club, and this is all a ruse.
this is the ultimate question of the show. I mean, I think that when I watched the episode last night, my wife and I discussed it. My wife Perry and I always discuss all these episodes like I know you do with Lady Solo. And I woke up this morning and I said, I'm going to check the internet. I went to Reddit. I read articles on Esquire, Variety, Hollywood Report, everything, right? Nobody knows.
Okay.
Nobody has the answer, Solo. So for those of you who are tuning in, there was no direct reveal in this episode. And for those who think there was, you may be proven correct, but you were not shown to be correct. And articles stating the mole revealed are incorrect because why? Let's trace the phone. The phone belongs to Ray, the strung out meth head guy who was contacted by Cliff and Robbie to try to sell the drugs. He was going to make contact with another dealer that would not implicate them to the club, right, or anyone
Right.
else. Ray and his wife then go and try to rob Cliff's house. They run into our task force. They're taken in. They're interrogated. While Ray is being interrogated, they take Tom takes his phone out of a bag from evidence. We see it has the Philadelphia Flyers. He hands it to him and he says, "Text Cliff and tell him." He said, where did we leave it off?" He said, "They're waiting for me to tell them where to meet." So he gives him the phone, he texts it, then they take the phone back. The next time we see the phone is when Jay is holding it, and we discover that he has actually been the one who, the whole time, last episode and in this episode, where we thought the FBI was texting with Cliff, it's actually any text after the first text has been the biker club, and all the texts that night were going to the biker club. Grasso has a separate phone, which is not the actual phone,
Right.
but it appears as though he believes he's texting them because he actually sends a text. We see him actually send a text.
Right.
So, who gave the biker club Ray's actual phone? That is our
That
ultimate
is
question, right?
okay.
And the two people who are now most under suspicion are Grasso, because he was actually sitting there with the hoodie texting them. So if he has the phone, maybe he's the one who knows he's not actually using the right phone because he gave it to the biker club. But that doesn't make much sense, because why would Grasso be the one holding this evidence the whole time? No, it would be
The
Tom, or
van, it would be, yeah.
someone would give it to him. Right. It's
But why
so,
isn't Tom like, where's the phone, guys?
because my belief is this. My belief, the second person who is under most suspicion is Kathleen McGinty, aka the amazing Martha Plimpton. Because after her conversation with Tom, he walks out of the office, she picks up her phone, she does the old classic, "I think we have a problem," right?
Right.
But later, when they are at the county police getting ready for the raid, right? The
Mhm.
meet, Tom turns to her very quickly and says, "Did you check on that thing we talked about?"
Right.
And she goes, "I didn't have time." So make that could be that. It could be that that call was really to her boss, the guy we saw in episode one, who asked her to set up the task force to begin with. And the problem is there's a mole. It's getting worse,
Right.
right? Like there's a direct information leak. So to answer your question, Solo, we do not know. I have
Okay.
just laid out all the information that
In a
we
very good
know.
way. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. I thought a lot about it. We do a podcast on it.
Oh, we
Um,
do.
I it That's it. We don't know anything else.
Yeah, because we don't know if Martha Plimpton's character is she calling someone be like, hey, we got a mole, or they know about the mole. We don't know. Now, some of her
Exactly.
reactions in the van are suspect.
They keep cutting to her. You see her look
Yeah.
at Tom standing there, and then she's in the background, like looking at him. You know she can give that face, right? So I
Yeah.
think it's a red herring. I do not. My opinion
I
is it
believe
is
that
not
too.
her.
I believe
Yeah.
that too. I think they just did that because it's so easy to think, oh, okay, that's what it's got to be. But I don't think so
But
either. Now, Grasso, he's either fake texting from his phone to keep up appearances because he knows surveillance is going on, but because that makes sense. Because I'm like, okay, you had the family that lost their dog that were there, and Cliff didn't even go to the meet that they thought he was going to. So that means you're right. The motorcycle club's been texting Cliff from the phone.
right.
So yeah, missing pieces to reference an old lost
Yes.
thing. We
Of
don't know.
course.
It was very confusing, but at the same time, I was like, this show will answer it
Yeah.
and it will be fine. But it was just a little weird because I'm like, do they have
How
a
did they get?
Flyers phone too? Like, you know,
So my theory is that is what normally happens in these situations, I would assume only from watching television, that they clone the phone, and the original phone they think is in evidence. they're not going to walk around with the guy's phone. It's evidence.
Yeah, it could be a
So they
clone.
clone it, and the new phone sends and receives messages from that number, right? Or they take out the card or whatever, the SIM or whatever, and then they leave the phone in evidence. Nobody know. Everyone thinks it's just in a fucking box, right? So they don't know that it's been taken. So also anybody could have taken it because anyone in the task force, I guess, can get into evidence. We don't even know particularly where they keep it. It's FBI evidence, right?
Right,
But
right.
it could be also that because the guy was arrested at the local police station, that means it's local police evidence, which would point more so to Grasso's new little girlfriend than it would anybody else, Lizzie, right? So if it's in the county,
Don't get me started on that.
then it's Grasso, right? So it's like they come from
Yeah,
different places. So I think at this point in time, it's like with everything with this show, I find the reveals to be so linked to the characters and the emotions and the setting. I'm not getting overly crazy with the theories of who the mole is in my own head, or even as I think, or prepare for the show, because it's like they're going to show us, but my estimation is I have no fucking idea who it is.
yeah. No, and that's good. I
Oh
mean,
no.
I like that. I just wanted to make sure like I didn't miss something. I was like, did we miss an episode? Where the fuck,
Yeah.
but that's okay because that's what this show does. That gives you little hints and explains later, or
Yeah.
we find out later, which is fine. It was just a little jarring because it was the old fake out, like, oh, we're looking for our dog, and I just got a little frustrated there with that. Um, and I had to go to my other frustration, then
Okay.
half a frustration, and then I want to talk goodness. So this Grasso and I want to call her Stoller. What is that? A stroller? What's her? Uh,
Who are you talking about?
uh,
Lizzie?
Lizzie. Lizzie.
Stover. Yeah.
Stover. Stovetop
Yeah.
stuffing. Yes.
Exactly. There you go.
Okay. So this whole scene with them going out again,
Mm-hmm.
them having a moment. She's
Uh-huh.
dancing to her song, I've been a bad girl, yada yada. They go into the bed, and then he has this come to Jesus moment. I can't have sex with you on your bed that you had sex with your ex-husband. I don't know.
Yeah.
That sequence, I'll be honest, I don't care. I
Well,
don't know. It
really?
just
Well, ooh,
I
Solo's in a little
don't.
bit of a mood. Solo
No, I'm
here is
not
in a
in a
mood.
mood. I'm in a fantastic mood. My Cowboys tied. I'm in a great mood. No, I guess
Okay.
they're,
Well,
I know it's leading to
mhm.
something, and I have a feeling one of those two are the mole, and the
Right.
other's gonna have to, if they've fallen for each other, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. That scene to me just it didn't hit for me.
Okay.
And I don't know if it's because I like the characters. I mean, I love this show. Don't get me wrong. This is an A plus, A not A plus yet, but A minus show
No,
in my
this is
book.
therapy. This is why we're here. We're here to work through
I
these
just
issues.
I don't know. And again, it could be watching it after a day of football, and then I watch it, and then I don't know. But no, I'm a little, I'm not that shallow. The I didn't like, and then they're laying there in their jeans. I don't know. It's like
Okay.
you don't want to have sex with her in the bed, but you have fine with your shirt off laying in the bed. I don't know. I thought he looked, did he, I know he's got a cross on, he's
Yeah.
religious, but I thought at
Grasso.
first I thought he saw the meds and she's like, oh, this girl's messed up. I can't be
Okay.
doing this. But that was just a quick,
No, it
wasn't
was the
sure what he was looking for.
photo. It was the
Right.
pitch. It was said words, right? It said our place or something like that.
Right. And
And
that's what
then,
triggered. Yeah.
right.
Of
It was
course, I
like a,
look at the pill bottles
it was
before I
like a,
look at the
well, I
song.
think that was, as we know, it's film, TV, everything's there for a reason.
Hmm.
I think it's all of those things,
Right.
right? It's the pills who makes her a real person. It's it's that plaque, I guess you'd call it, with the kind of live, laugh, love, or like it was speaking about their marriage, their future together, right?
Right.
And what
Right.
didn't happen.
Hmm.
the cross, obviously Grasso Italiano, probably good Catholic boy. Um,
as we
we're
all are.
we're questioning, Lord have mercy, Hail Satan. Oh, wait, sorry,
Whoa,
Hail
whoa,
Zenu. Hail
whoa!
Zenu. I apologize. I
We're gonna
apologize.
get canceled, Axel.
Well, I do love Satan though.
Satin sheets, not
I think it is a. I love the scene. I actually loved it.
mm.
I thought it was actually one of my favorite scenes in the show. I was
Oh
going to bring it
wow.
up. And the reason why is because that's why I love this show. Learning the mysteries of who these characters are as people is as important to me as what happens to the kid or the drugs or Billy's history or Robbie or anything. Because I find it fascinating. We're dealing with Tom. Earlier, he asked Tom, why a priest? Right? Like, what's up with being a priest? So we have to ask ourselves, is Grasso having a moment of reflection, of guilt, of doubt, because he's
Mm.
feeding this information to the club? There's another thing that could be happening, which is a lot of times on ops, I use that term because I've been on many of them.
You're
On
on one right now, and I don't know how you're doing this pod, but take those pictures of the guy across the street.
Tom, give me a second. Many times on ops like this, you have different departments who have cross purposes. Could it be that Grasso is feeding information to the club because they're dealing with a bigger op on the mother club, on maybe a national level, not a Delco level?
Right.
And to them, Grasso is actually working with somebody else. I don't know who it could be other than it could be another FBI job that's going on that they don't know
Oh, a
about.
deeper one because we got introduced
Deeper
to
cover.
Junior.
This is
This I think his name was Junior, or maybe not. No, the great the head, head of the mother,
Yeah, the
the one
Mother
that comes
Club. That's
the
what
mother
I'm
club.
trying to say, is that
You're
that is a clue
ooh,
to us, Solo, a clue.
yeah,
Whenever in a show or a film or film where one side ups their game, where you see the higher level of whatever the bad guys or the good guys, you can bet that pretty soon you're going to see the higher level of the other side, who's really the man behind the curtain on the other side too. So I think that's how I interpret this situation.
I think you tapped into something that just got me very excited. And we're not in the same room, so don't get excited,
All right, Commander.
listeners. So what if Grasso is working with Plimpton on a bigger thing? That's why
Hmm.
he was put in the task force to oversee, but they don't necessarily want to nail, and they're
And
going for the big fish.
and also they knew that maybe they could manipulate Tom or he was in a bad situation. Maybe
Right.
that's why she brought him in. Remember, the first thing we hear her say is that her job is at risk. That's
Aha.
literally the
Yeah.
first fucking thing she says is they're trying to get me out of this job. And then she goes into forming the task force. So it's
Yeah.
more complicated than it may seem. And that's why I
Yeah.
love this scene because it is a subtle, it builds with them and it builds with Grasso questioning him about being a priest. Now he's questioning himself. He's guilty. And I just found the thing I loved about that scene is that I maybe get a little personal here or whatever,
Hey,
but I
it's
think
okay. You're live on task, Todd.
as a young, I grew up Catholic. And I think that when I let that go, when I left the cult, when I was around maybe 16, 17, 18 years old, I had to struggle with a lot of the bullshit with the sex stuff that goes on. And I think something like this, him thinking about that being the marital bed,
Right.
I think it may not be really the way he lives his life, but since he's questioning all this stuff, it brings back all that guilt that gave to him. So he's kind of he's having a real moment with her. And then they actually have this beautiful moment where she's kind of like she gets annoyed at first, but then she's like, okay. we can, okay, Grasso no pussy or whatever she calls him, right?
Yeah,
We
yeah.
can we can do it we can do it on the
Yeah,
couch,
because
but then
well,
she just
no,
kind of lays there.
she doesn't want to do it on the recliner, or that she's not,
But she's gonna though,
No,
right? Like
I'm
but the when they lay there, I thought it was so beautiful and real, and it just reminded me. I mean, we've all had sex, and sexual encounters can be so confusing and weird. And instead of getting angry about it, she just kind of laughed about it and kept talking to him. And it made me like both of them a lot more.
yeah, she's one of those complicated characters
I
that is
love her, man.
she does. At first I was so frustrated with her, but then I'm like, wait a minute. And I started to get into it. I'm really fascinated because she's doing a hell of a job. The actress is doing a hell of a job, and she's so all over the map. But I'm rooting for her. But I hope she's
Yeah,
not like. There's so many things going on. But you're right. I mean, that scene was very real.
yeah.
Was
That's
that
why
was
I
as
liked it.
real as it gets. So I'm coming around a little bit now, especially now. And this is why one of the reasons why we talk about it, and because it's my initial reaction, frustration. I'm still mad at some of Robbie's decisions.
Yeah,
I don't understand how can he be so dense, but it goes with the character about things, and we're learning. But I'm going to revisit that scene, Axel, because now that there's so many different layers that I just didn't pick up on. And now, 20 less than 24 hours later, talking about it, I'm
yeah.
starting to, because this is one of those episodes I think on a rewatch I will love a lot more because it's
There's a
fluid.
lot
It's
to
the
it.
week
Yeah,
to
I felt it
week.
was really good.
It's the week to week, and you expect when it's a different mentality when you're watching week to week. I'm
Yeah.
so into these characters, but I felt like I needed something. I guess and I've also been frustrated with what's going to happen with Sam because did I say his name right this week?
Yeah.
Hey,
Yes, you
I
did.
didn't call him Ben. Um, so there's a lot of, you know what? You're right though. The difference between, and I love Law and Order, I love procedurals. That's my thing. But what stands out with this one against procedurals. First of all, there's a few things. One, the characters. I mean, you were learning more about the characters. And like I think some people like, well, what's going on with the Emily situation? We just want to see Tom Brandis work on, but no, we need that stuff. This is what separates this show from a procedural is having all these elements. And for me, feeling uncomfortable, not knowing what's going on. Like it's frustrating, but in a good way. Like
Yeah.
I want to know, but that keeps me watching and stuff. So I'm definitely going to revisit the scene, and then when we get the whole context, especially when we learn more about Grasso and Stover, if they are the mole or what's going on. I mean, we've learned a lot, but I'm excited to see the where this journey leads.
Yeah, I am too, man. Of course,
Yeah.
it's brilliant stuff. It's bringing it together, and yeah, I mean, I like the dancing part, the part in the bar. It's kind of cool because we have the first Grasso Lizzie bar scene, and then it kind of builds. They're getting more comfortable with each other. I think it's really interesting because we're seeing this romance and this kind of like dating thing, but really we're the whole time they know while they're writing it, shooting it, editing, all that. What we're trying to figure out is one of these people the mole, right? Like
Right.
that's what basically frames this interaction. So by bringing this other stuff into it, I think it's interesting. And we do have questions. I mean, obviously, this question of forgiveness, of faith, humanity is central to this, to Tom's situation with his family. And then you have the same situation happening with Robbie. And like you're saying, he keeps on fucking shit up. So I think it's kind of nice to have this little moment with them. Do you want to talk about? This was a really even episode too, because it's like some episodes we spent a lot of time with Tom, a little time with Robbie. We didn't see a lot of Maeve this episode at all, really.
Yeah.
She was not featured as much in this
No.
episode. Um, we got to we did actually spend a lot of time with Jason and Perry. Um, but it was really interesting. I don't know. You want to talk about? I mean, I guess with kind of Tom and Cliff's journey through this episode.
Yeah, I mean, Cliff, you could tell ever since what happened, he hasn't been the same. I mean, it's almost like he checked out a bit. I mean, he falls asleep in the car when he's supposed to watch the kid. I think he's just tired and he's worried and he's
Yeah,
just,
Cliff's strung out. He's done with this
yeah.
shit, dude. Yeah,
And of
that's like last
course,
episode. He's like, let's just get the money.
yeah. And of course, he reaches demise, you know, in a
He
rough
reaches
way.
demise.
So whatever. I don't know. He reached his demise.
Motherfucker's dead, is what you meant
Yeah,
to say.
yeah. And the ABC version, you talk HBO version, I
There
do
we go.
ABC version, Mr. Payne. But yeah, and I felt bad, but at the same time, it's like you knew this was going to happen. You knew, and and I'm wondering, is that the same way Jay killed Billy in that same type of way? So are we seeing a reflection of what he did to Billy? Um, because they did introduce a flashback, and we'll get to
Yeah.
with Billy and Robbie at the quarry, and the AKA I call it the creek because we used to have when I lived in Pennsylvania we had the creeks.
Down
Um,
on the corner,
all
up there in the creek. All right.
right, I
Little
like that.
song
Well, I
time
like that.
there.
I like that. So,
Yeah.
I mean, to go back to Cliff, it's just unfortunately he seems like a good friend that he was in with doing these jobs, and this was the job that set things in a bad way. And poor Cliff,
Yeah.
pour one out
He's
for Cliff.
so there was a lot of interviews with the actor out because of course he dies this episode, spoiler alert, but you know that. His name is Raul Castillo, and he, as I said, I fucking loved him. He was anyone who watched the show Looking on HBO and compared that character to this character. Now I know it's like 10 years later, but it just shows what acting is. Like how that's why whenever someone is like meets actors and stuff and it's like, "Oh man, that you were so awesome in that movie." It's like, you know that's not really them. Like that is really the job. Heath knows this because he is an actor. It's not really you. And the character he
It's
wasn't
not.
looking is so different. So, I know you practice the Heath method um, of fooling yourself. But anyway,
He's
yeah,
definitely.
kudos to him, as they say.
Yeah.
The acting was amazing. The face, the prosthetic,
Mm.
his journey through this. You're right. I mean, he was checked out, and also though, in a way, I mean, let's be honest here. Robbie kind of sent him to the slaughter. He's like, yeah, why don't you take the drugs and go meet him? I'll hang back here and
And
fucking
Cliff
chill.
does the honorable thing, go, get out of there, get out of there. Like he
He
knew
is,
shit was
yeah,
going down and he saved his friend's life.
yeah. I feel like
Well,
he
at least for
is,
a night.
that's
But
Cliff's love is Robbie.
yeah,
And I think this episode showed it more than others. Like we've seen them kind of doing their thing. And remember in that first conversation they have about when Robbie's like, "Yeah, I want to go dating. Oh, did you ever do the apps or whatever?" Right? And you could see the way he kind of looks up to him in the same
yeah,
way that we see Robbie looking up to Billy,
yeah, yeah.
right? It's interesting. They show it's like the lineage of men obsessed about other men and willing to die for it.
And that's I mean, I have that in my life. You just look up like I don't have a brother, but I have an older cousin that I look up to. I've looked up to my whole
Yeah.
life. Of course, my dad and stuff, but like there's those certain people in your life that you really do, no matter how bad things are, you always look to them for whether it's advice or leadership or whatever.
I
And
never had that in my life solo.
oh, I'm
Never
sorry.
really had that. I had my
Well, I
friends,
look
I
up
had
to you, but
myself.
you're just taller.
Well,
But
that's Most people do look up to me. I it's I know what you're talking about. At points in my life, I have, but I think that this is even a little bit different, right? Like these guys are the world they live in. They, it's like the sacrifice is greater. You
Well,
know what
yeah,
I'm
and
saying?
that was my
Yeah,
point is
yeah.
this isn't just a normal my life
Oh,
looking
yeah,
up. In every situation, people have that. I mean, we see
yeah.
that all the time. Uh, The Wire, different shows where it's a terrible situation, but people are always looking, especially if they don't have a good role models as like or have parents in the picture. You're always looking for that older
Oh, yeah.
brother or older sister or someone you can trust and look up to. And it's just, yeah. And you could see it in that flashback, just the way Robbie and Billy were. Like, Billy's I couldn't give her up, whatever.
Yeah,
Like,
he's the head guy, right? And did you see what his, you know how like Perry is Dizzy? They have their little nicknames
mhm.
underneath on their patches. Did you see that Billy's was Ramrod?
Oh, did not see that. If I had
That
seen
was
that,
his
I would
name,
have
Ramrod. So
Ramrod.
that kind of says it all. I mean, he was big too, right? Like he was much bigger and stronger
Yeah.
than Robbie as well. More tats. He just seemed he was in charge. You know what I'm saying? And he didn't even give a shit. Like this whole thing is because he was having that sexual relationship. But they call her like Aaron. It's like not Aaron. It's
Eh,
ER. So it's like
It's like
Aaron. It's like
ERY,
yeah. It's like the
or
Celtic
something.
kind of way.
Yeah.
She
Erin.
Yes, she is really the not she's the no, I shouldn't say cause but focus because the cause is all of them and their decisions, her decisions as well. But even when she arrives, that's so taboo. It's going to end up having him murdered and all of this shit. But Billy's like, what can I do? Like you said, he's like, what can I do? And he just starts making out with her right there. She runs up to him. It's just he has a
Oh,
strength and like kind of that Robbie doesn't have.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He's a follower. Robbie is a follower. And that's
And
just like Cliff too.
he's trying to be a leader with
Yeah.
Cliff in this job, and it's not
He's
working
not. He's
because he
not.
doesn't know.
Neither
I'll
of
go to
them.
Canada. Even Maeve calls him out. What are you're just going to go to Canada? And
They're two dummies. They're two dummies. And you can say it's, I mean, that's a large part of watching a show like this. It's the upbringing, where they're from, their education level, what their life, what they've been through. Whatever it is, that is what they are. And we see Robbie getting more and more violent and making worse decisions throughout this, sacrificing Cliff. And really, in each episode, he becomes more and more of our antagonist. Whereas when we began this, we really didn't know. Remember, in the beginning, well, Jenny, who was on the first episode, I was saying, oh, maybe they'll come together and be partners in some way against the gang or so. But I don't see that happening.
I got I got a question and an outside the box theory about this. One is just kind of a statement. It just seems like, I mean, I love the shot of the quarry and then all of a sudden to present day and it looks so run down and Cliff's all depressed and what a difference. But it just seems like, okay, Aaron's there, they're having an affair. Seems like, is that quarry just a safe zone? No one's ever going to see you there. But which leads me, because
That's
they
what.
bring Sam there but which leads me to this.
Well, it's the
That
quarry.
shot of Maeve's face looking at her dad and Aaron,
Oh, yeah.
is it possible, maybe not intentionally, that Maeve would have been the leak of how the motorcycle club? Maybe she didn't like Aaron. Maybe she was frustrated her dad was doing this. And could she have either inadvertently or not realizing ratted out her dad
What do you mean? Rather that out to who?
to the club or to Jay or to someone? I want to say Peaches, but he not Peaches. That because she knows her dad's having is fooling around with Aaron. She sees it
Oh, 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 oh.
at the
Oh,
creek.
hold up. You mean back in the day, she let Jay know my dad is fucking your
Yes,
wife.
yes.
Oh, wow. Solo.
That
That,
look, that
see?
look, that look of Maeve, and I don't think of Westworld when I say Maeve, but no, when that look of Maeve when she's not happy they're together.
You know what? I love that you said that, and I want everyone who's watching us on YouTube to look over Heath's shoulder because that's why the Star City murders exist, folks. Because this man should be writing this fucking shit. I love that. I think that is a wonderful idea that maybe not so much as like called Perry up or called Jay
Yes,
up, but
yes.
maybe they were at a barbecue or they were at something and she's
She
like,
let it,
my dad keeps on hanging out with your wife. It's kind of weird. You know what I'm saying? Just like let give
or something
does,
told to someone that
oh
got to
man.
them, and maybe she feels guilty, and part of the
Oh,
reason why
that's
she's taken
so
on the
complex
mother
and
role,
interesting if that's true,
if she
Solo.
takes on this mother role and she's like, I'm gonna turn him like it all would make sense to
Wow.
me.
Okay. I don't know if this is going to happen,
No, I mean probably not, but it's
but
food for thought.
it does show you how complex and interesting that these characters are that you would come up with that. It would make it, it's real. That's a great idea, man. It would explain her kind of nailing herself to the cross as being the mom, like you're saying, the
Right.
guilt, how she just takes care of Sam right away. She doesn't care, right? Like, yeah, after that big fight threatening him, but then doesn't follow through with it because, that's an interesting, that's really interesting, man. I don't
Yeah,
know. I mean, it
I
could be true, but it does. Either way, it was that whole flashback was poignant and sad, and I love the way they cut right back to him sitting there, and he looks out and sees her, and say, you know what I mean, the kid fishing, and I thought that was. There's a lot of great cuts, especially I have to mention the cut in when Grasso and Lizzie were at the bar and they come together to kiss at the bar and then they're thrown into through the door against the wall at
yeah,
her apartment. That was a great cut too, man. They
that really
do that's
was. That really was.
folks, that is not easy. You have to think about sometimes cuts like that you can make in editing through motion through basically the fact that there's only so many ways people can move within a frame, you can match it, but sometimes you plan it in the writing and whatever it is, they were both amazing cuts. But
Yeah.
continue what else you were saying. I'm
No,
sorry.
no, or I mean, that could have been also because we don't know, and it's why this show is so great, is that shot of Maeve could have been just her thought process too. Like
Hmm.
maybe she thought about doing that
Yeah.
and she's frustrated. I think what they want to know is she doesn't like this relationship. She's
Yeah.
not looking at Erin as a new mom
Yeah.
or whatever.
Or she's just missing her mom Solo.
Or
She's
just
like, oh,
missing
look
her
at
mom.
that lady
Yeah, it
fucking
could be
around with
that
my
simple. It could
daddy.
be that simple. Yeah.
Because who was
I
it
mean, not simple, but
2 minutes before that who was throwing her around in the water? It was her dad. It's the old,
yeah.
I guess it's not Oedipal with women, it's something else, but it's the same concept. You know what I'm saying? You kind of fall in love
Yeah.
with your parent in a way. You want to be them. But yeah, that was so interesting. But I think this episode really did a lot if we kind of hone in on Robbie to dispel the kind of, I guess it really is just peeling away. You kind of think he's a better guy than he is, and then this episode just shows the awful mistakes he's making, but also kind of the bullshit world he lives in, where he is just bullshitting himself and everyone around him by not showing up, not doing anything, and everybody kind of knows that he's not going to do it. Even the daddy daughter dance scene
Yeah, that was crushing.
where she's
Oh,
like, I didn't buy the tickets because I didn't think you'd want to go. And then what does he say? He says, okay, then let's make the best of this dance here. He doesn't say, no, I'm going to be there for you, honey.
right,
I'm going to,
right.
or show it or actually do it. It's just the whole thing and Maeve watching it. It was touching. That little kid is a great little actress.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
I would that scene really got to me because,
Yeah.
they've done such a great job at, showing us how their life is. And I mean, think about, I mean, we talk about Rob because he's the main character and Maeve, but these kids, man.
Great, great.
They're in
Sam
this
too.
crap
Great
world,
casting.
and it sucks because, do they have a chance to even succeed? And do they
Yeah.
have a chance? They were born into this world, and it sucks. And then you look at an Emily that doing shots, going out. Oh, when she came home from that party, I was like, I've had many of those nights. I don't miss
Yeah.
those.
Yeah.
But like just the frustrating where she, talks to her therapist and is like she feels she's expected to be grateful that she got adopted and brought into a good home.
Yeah.
And but she feels like she can't get frustrated or she can't be disappointed. And that blew me away. Like that whole scene, I was like, wow. And then you see, the card guy, trying to hit on her a little bit, and he's not a doesn't look like he's a big drinker. And then of course the party thing, she's struggling. And
Yeah.
when she comes home and tells Tom like how she feels, it's just it broke my heart. It broke my
Yeah.
heart because
Great
it,
kid stuff here.
I mean, it's very rare. I mean, you have shows that focus on kids that, as the show goes on, they become better actors and they get in touch with their characters more, and then it works or it doesn't work. This one, I just feels like the kids work right away.
I was gonna say that. You know what? There's a feeling you get, and I think every adult or person of our certain age, 40 and above, may feel when you're watching a show and you get a scene with all adults, and then it cuts to a scene of all kids, and your heart sinks, and you're like, oh fuck, are we gonna get some stupid fucking teen storyline in this bullshit that I'm gonna have to sit through? Oh my God, they got peer pressured by their friend, or you know what I mean? Like, come on, play some Taylor Swift or some bullshit. Like, please, I'm here for adult. I never feel that way with this show. Like,
No,
I feel like the kids are adults because they are.
they
That's
had to
this
grow up
world.
quick, and then
They are,
yeah,
yes,
look
they're
at
all
Maeve.
adult
What is
children.
she, mid 25 or something? She's acting
She
like
might
she's
as well be
45.
50. I know,
Yeah,
right? And you're right.
she's
The
forced to.
also if you see the mirroring of Emily and Sam, right? Adopted, taken from his family, and the way that she is like has to be, oh, I'm so thankful, I'm so thankful. And then meanwhile, Sam's like, when can I go home to the parents who fucking beat me and lock me
Yeah.
in a basement? I miss my parents. And it shows you that bond that people have. I mean, I've said it many times. I know family can be a great thing for many people, but I've seen this same number of people destroyed by their families as I have uplifted by them.
Yeah. Yeah.
It can go both ways,
Yeah. And the poor
like
kid,
the
he's young. He
Godfather
doesn't
said.
know. He only knows what he knows. And he's just, he misses his home, even though it doesn't seem like it was a great home, but
Yeah.
that's what he knows.
Yes. Yeah.
But even when, Robbie beats the crap out of the guy trying to help him,
Another thing of showing who he really is,
yeah.
right? Like
And
that guy was trying to help a kid. He
yeah,
was not being creepy. He was not trying, he was a good guy
yeah.
who was trying to help a
He
kid.
just seemed like something was up. Like the kid's dumping the fish out in the creek, and it's like, oh no, my parents are Robbie. And it's like, wait, what? And then when they answer both, is this your dad? Yes, no. That's the
Yeah.
trigger. He's like, whoa. And and we, I mean, love Tom Pelfrey, rooting for Robbie, even though, but he makes a lot of bad decisions. Um, and but that's Robbie. He's in the moment, doesn't make good decisions, or goes with what he think he should do, not realizing, you beat the crap out of someone. There's a cell phone, and you just toss the cell phone. Why not take it with you, take it apart, and throw it away
Anger,
somewhere else?
just pure
But
stupid
that's
anger.
but that's what it is.
That's what, so I love that you picked that up because we picked that up too. There's too many. You all right there? You spill it? There you
Yeah, my coaster
go.
got stuck to my.
Oh, I hate
Sorry.
when that happens. I hate that. It is early in the morning too. Um, when people make errors because of frustration, anger, stupidity in a film or television show, like I was reading a Reddit thing where I was like, this show is full of plot holes. For instance, why would he throw the phone? He would know better. And it's
No, he
like,
wouldn't.
wait a second. So what you're trying to say to me is that a guy who kidnapped the biker gang's kid after murdering them, who is in a parking lot arranging for a guy to take them to Canada in the back of a truck after mercilessly beating the ever loving shit out of somebody would think, oh, let me take the SIM card out of this phone.
Yeah,
No,
and toss it later.
it's
Yes,
so
we're
stupid.
conditioned
Yeah,
in
yeah,
shows because again, I love my procedurals, but that's something the
I
procedural
know.
would do.
Everybody
A
thinks they're a
convenient,
fucking genius, dude.
but
I'm,
no, like this is a real character who's making
yeah,
shitty decisions. Serial killers or murderers have been caught because they left the damn phone on
yeah.
at the crime scene. The criminals aren't smart. They're not all, Lex
Some
Luthor.
are.
Well, some are.
You're not that bad. So, oh wait,
No,
that's a
I
different
have my
podcast.
moments. I
Okay.
have my
That was
moments.
the Mindhunter podcast. We have to go back to
Oh,
that one.
I love
By the way,
Mindhunter.
folks, if you enjoy listening to Heath and I, just a little mid-roll ad here, go to DVR Podcast because we covered all of Mindhunter. We've talked about so many shows like this before.
A couple seasons
Um,
of True Detective. We did
True
Night Country,
Detective. We did
True
two
Detective
seasons of
season
True
three.
Detective.
We
Yeah.
didn't do one and two, but we did three and four.
Yeah, come on. There's so
Um,
much good stuff. Listen to it, find it. It's awesome.
and check out the Star City Murders on
Yeah, go to
Amazon Prime
Tubi.
or Tubi,
Yeah, I
whatever
like
you
it.
feel like.
Tubi's getting a lot of because I think doesn't Paramount owns Tubi, so I think they're putting a lot of money into pushing it now. You
Tubi's
see it,
blowing up,
Paramount's
man.
full of cash. Anyway, I want to talk a
Anyway,
little bit about Emily again. I
okay.
love that whole scene. It was, the geeky card guy, the girls who don't give a fuck and close early. And one of the good things about this show is, guess what? We don't need to see her going getting drunk at a party full of kids. Nobody
No,
needs to see that. We've all seen it before. Just skip over it and get to the end when she meets up with Tom and we get goodness out of it.
it's
That,
perfect. It was
yeah, that's
perfect, Axel. She does the shot. You know she's on that road
exactly.
and she's
Why do you
home
need that?
hammered.
We don't need to develop. That's the smart
So
decisions
good.
about why this is an adult show and not like some show about the coast. On Netflix, all the shows about the coast always involve the parents and the kid, right? Like
Well, if it was
they live
24
on the
episodes,
beach. Yeah,
you'd have to have that.
that's true. That's true too.
But we don't
Um,
need it.
but I thought that her acting was amazing, meeting with
Oh,
her therapist. It's interesting that she goes to a school where she wears a uniform. That's a distinction to make. She goes to a private school. She has a very good life, right? He's an FBI agent. He makes
well,
dough,
he drinks most of
right?
it, but
That's true
no,
too. But that's the other thing
it's cheap
too.
vodka actually.
But
You can,
Solo, I learned it from watching you, all right?
yeah.
Like daughter, like father. She gets wasted like he gets
I thought you
wasted.
were talking to
You
me
know? No,
personally.
no.
I'm like, wait a minute, don't say that on the air,
Well,
Axel.
there are things I learned from watching you, but those are for a different podcast. That's the After
Yeah.
Hours Old Man podcast. But I thought that was brilliant too, the way he just accepted it too, right? I mean, wow, Mark Ruffalo, man, what a great actor. Just with a little look, yeah, like she come, I'll
Oh,
clean it up. I know it's who the fuck are you?
I was
Hey, why don't you go beat it?
I was so happy though that he didn't like become alpha parent and was
Yeah,
like, damn you for
it was
drinking. Like
enough.
he
Yeah,
knew,
yeah,
he knows what's going on. And it was such a real moment. Like he didn't want to overdo it. I mean, what she said was very impactful. I mean, she overheard him and her half, I guess, half sister. No, not half sister.
I think it's
Step.
her
No.
sister. It's her
Yeah,
sister,
what do you call
adopted
an adopted
sister,
sister? Okay, you
a
just call it
sister.
sister. Okay,
Yeah,
yeah. Half is when you share a parent. Gotcha. Okay, I'm getting educated here. But like she drops it, but it was dropped in such a way. It wasn't like, Dad, I need to talk to you. And she's just walking up the stairs and boom, she says it. That's how
yeah,
drunk people talk. We
yeah.
just we
He
I don't
got
know
a
what the
little
term.
bit of his own medicine.
Yeah. He just blurted it out at the time and then
You're not
didn't
a
want to talk
drunk
about it.
person, Solo.
No, I
No,
haven't had a cocktail in almost a year.
it's been a while, buddy. But that was also like him too, right? Couldn't you see him staggering up the stairs, turning around and saying,
Yep.
blah, blah, blah.
It was a mirror image
And
to
he knew it. As
he
a
knew it.
parent, I can tell you when your kid, that's when you think back on your life, the times your parents were probably either the most proud of you or the most angry at you was when you reminded them of themselves in a good or bad situation.
Right. That's
I remember
that's
one time my
yeah.
father got so mad at me And I was like, I just didn't understand. Why did you get so mad at me? And he looked at me. He was like, you know what? I'll be honest with you. You reminded me of how stupid I could be. I've made the same, like I was
Right.
looking at myself and it got me really upset. I did that. I said, I said that to my son the other day. He did something that just set me off. And I had to look inside myself. Why am I so upset by this? And I actually kind of started talking it out with him. I was like, I'm upset by this because I had a similar experience in my life and
Mhm.
I acted the same way.
That's
And it was the
crazy,
wrong
huh?
choice.
You know what?
And
And I
so it made me
applaud
upset.
you. Well, you're a very good dad and
Oh,
husband. I
thank,
mean,
I
most
try.
people know that, but you are. But the fact that you communicate that with your son, you figured it out, and that's just amazing to me because so many people, when they become adults, forget how they were when they were teenagers.
Yeah.
Like I have one of my cousin's kid. He's a good sophomore in college, but in the summers he comes home, eats, goes out with his friends, and everyone's like, "Yeah, he doesn't hang out with us." I go, "You were the same way. We
Yeah.
were all that way. Give
It's
him a
the
break. He's 19."
he know. Yeah, it's
You know what I
true.
mean? It's
It
just like
no,
we
totally.
forget because
We
it's been
do.
a while
And
and we're
I do
trying to be
too.
and we're
Yeah.
trying to be the
Yeah.
adult and we have to be
Yeah.
the parent or whatever.
You're
And so,
concerned. Yeah.
yeah, but like when you take the time like you did to, okay, wait a minute, let me think about this. That I just I find I have a lot of respect for that when
Well,
people actually take the time to think
I
about things like
appreciate it.
that. So
Well,
anyway,
also we're talkers, Solo. We
right.
learn by speaking and like and so I kind of do that. You know, it's I appreciate your comment. But in the case of the show,
Yes, back to the show. Sorry.
um, they are not doing that, right? They're not, and like she said, let's not talk about it, all right? Like, I won't say anything. And we don't really see, I mean, maybe we'll see what happens after. We also see her sister kind of open the door and kind of just look at him, but she kind of gives him the same kind of look that he gives her. It's just kind of like,
I
I
thought
don't
the
know what's going to
sister
change,
I thought
I
the
don't know.
sister was gonna step up and be like, I'm gonna go talk to her, but the best move is to let her go through
Yeah,
her.
it's so complicated, man. I
It
mean,
is like, what do you do? Like you feel bad, you
oh,
trying to be right, it's just it's tough. But what that scene was pretty awesome.
yes, it was. Let us talk a little bit because we do have a little bit a kind of our journey of Perry and
Yeah,
Jay and Jason. And Perry, of course, is visited by the guy's name is Vincent, and he
Vincent,
is
not Junior.
from
Oh, I called
the
him Junior.
Junior, but he was a tough one. But it's interesting to see the way kind of like the way Jay talks to everyone, but then Perry can talk to him in a certain way, and then only Vincent can talk to Perry
Yeah, it's the
in that
hierarchy.
way,
Yeah.
right? And then I like the way he's like, there was a mother club meeting. He's like, why wasn't I there? Because you were taking care of this garbage.
This guy.
I turn it into like an Italiano mob thing because that's what I don't know about bikers. I just know about the mob.
You've been
Um,
watching Tulsa King,
yeah.
the crossover.
Oh, it's our live solo.
Yeah,
But so we also learned that Perry is actually pretty desperate to kind of save Jay, right? Like
that's his guy,
he,
right? He's the
yeah.
one who put him into power, essentially.
Vincent says he's got till Friday. This episode takes place in a day, about 24-hour period.
Like
And
Thursday, is it like a because the dance on Friday that
the
was
dance is
tomorrow?
Friday. And actually, I think the task force was put together on Monday.
That's crazy to me. That's right. It's only been less than
It's
a
been
week,
4 days, dude. Tom says it. He
and
says, I've only known these people for 4 days.
DJ Grasso is already moving in on
Yeah.
House of
So
the
it's been
Dragon.
4 weeks for us, 4 days
For
for them.
yeah, so you got to put that in perspective too, which is yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Um, Now there was some stuff that happened, I think a little, I think the robbery and stuff, but since the task force.
yeah,
But so Vincent basically explains that the decision was made to Jay is getting the old bye-bye, getting some steel boots or whatever they call them out there in Delco. He sleeps with the fishes.
Sleeps with the Fishes,
And
Concrete.
Perry he says, but Vincent says it's a done deal. There's nothing you can fucking do about it. So you better make your peace with him and he says, I know how much you like him, you know, don't, I think what he was saying to him is don't tell him, keep with the club, don't fuck this up. The only way we're going
Right.
to solve this is by taking him out and just forgetting any of this happened. So basically, my question to you, Solo, is Vincent seems pretty convinced that if they take out Jason, this is going to end. How do they know that?
Mm, Mole?
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that it does point more towards, unfortunately, our Goonie, who will never die, Martha Plimpton, as being the mole. Because in order to know high level shit, like maybe this all comes down, but does she even know that? That's what I
Well,
find
it could be her
confusing.
boss too. We don't know. We don't know if one of
This,
the higher ups are turned informant. Like we don't
well,
know.
but see, in order to know that, they would have to know the connection between Robbie, Billy, and Jay. And in
Right.
order to know
Right.
that, they need to know that Robbie is involved. So does someone actually already know that it's Robbie, but they're not acting on it because
Mm,
they want this charade to continue and it just to go away for the club? That's the
see.
only question that I can't. Now, maybe I'm reading it. It's totally possible I'm reading too deep into this. And when Vincent just wants Jay gone because he's the head of this club, he's the head of this chapter, and that's who's been getting robbed. So they
Yeah,
just want to put someone in who takes care of business.
that's because they even mentioned how business is going well.
Exactly.
So they don't want to mess that up. So it could be just as simple as that. Now, Perry goes with his chains around his fist and pops Jay. And I wasn't sure if he was going to beat him to death right
I
there
thought he was going to
himself.
kill him. I thought he was going to kill him.
But I don't know. Is that his certain way of tipping him? But the big thing is Perry not knowing the reason why they killed Billy. Thought he
Right.
was skimming.
Right.
And
Exactly. He finds out
that
when
was shocking to me that Perry didn't know. I thought he was protecting Jay because he knew.
yes. So that guy's name is Shane, and he's the Dark Hearts guy who was there when Billy was killed, and he that scene was awesome. I think that all of this acting, it just goes to show you this show is so great because we haven't really spent that much time with Perry. We haven't spent that much time with Jay. Yet we have a good 20 minutes of this episode and they're the stars of the show and we're
Yeah.
following them and I'm just as engrossed in every scene with Perry and Vincent and Jay and Shane and Erin and the club as
Yeah.
I am with Tom and all them. But I thought that was the way they weave this tale of okay, then Vincent's trying to tell him you still have to find out what's going on, though, right? Like, we're going to take Jay out, but you have to
Right.
find out what's going on. Perry doesn't listen. He does. I mean, by punching Jay and telling him he knows what the real story is about there not being any extortion, he's letting him know, I know what's up, but he never tells him they're going to take you out on Friday.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't. He's
I
still,
just wanted to make that point.
yeah, he's
So
trying to, like, he wanted a couple of days and
he's trying to
Junior
see if
didn't,
he can save
Junior,
him, maybe.
Vincent didn't want to, yeah, he's still trying and he's still using every minute he can. But
Right.
now that he finds out what he did and everything, that it puts him in a tough place. And it'll be interesting to see where it goes. I don't know. Perry's, I mean, he just wants his coffee, you
Yeah.
know, in a,
Well,
but
I think the whole investigation he does, which leads eventually to the gun, to him identifying the gun, that it's Billy's gun because they take it off Cliff, is and it's cool. It's like it has a little detective story within this episode, and Perry is the main detective. And by the end of it, he has solved the crime. He solved it. He
yeah,
figured out what the deal is. He found out that the truth of why Jay really killed Billy. He interviewed suspects. He linked a murder weapon to the suspect, and now he knows Maeve is involved. And is his next step, he sees Maeve, but he doesn't seem to have any indication, or Robbie still is not on his radar. So Robbie, I guess, was not involved with the club.
I guess not. He must have not, that's the thing, because it hasn't come up like, because every time they get a new clue, I'm like, they see Maeve, oh, it's got Robbie's his brother. He's got,
Yeah,
we don't know. I mean, granted, he wasn't talking, he was looking
yeah,
at a picture, so he might have put that in his head, but we don't know how much they know about
no,
who Robbie is and what he's been up to, and how I mean, the only thing we know is the funeral, him having to shake hands with people in order,
mm,
and play nice, even though they know the club killed him. So did the club think he just doesn't know? That's the thing. That stuff's gonna trickle
yeah,
in, I'm sure.
yep. And of course Tom gets the photo too at the end. We see, so Perry has his investigation. It goes forward where it's pointing towards Maeve. Tom gets the photo from the phone that they recovered that Robbie threw. He's
Right.
covering his face, but there's be other. I'm sure there'll be other ways to trace who was there. Cameras. They're going to go there. They're going to find, and maybe they'll end up talking to Bardos, the guy who was going to take him to Canada. All in all, an
Or
amazing episode.
if they interview the victim, he may remember the Robbie name.
Yeah, yeah.
So
You're very right on that. And the way that he beat that guy, I don't know. I got to tell you, man, I'm rooting for Maeve. I'm rooting for the kids to get the fuck out of Delco. I'm rooting for Tom to help out, work his shit out, sit down with his daughters and try to work this fucking shit out in
yeah.
some real way that doesn't involve getting wasted first. And I'm down with Stover and Grasso, the Lasso, working it out and loving each other. Because I
Eh,
just, and she's, I like it. I don't know who the mole is. This show is awesome. Solo. Any final words? We got to get out of here.
yeah, we got to get out of here. We got some investigating to do ourselves.
We do.
But no, this was a very good episode. It wasn't my favorite. Still a couple of those scenes I was a little lukewarm on, but a little blip. I still think it's a
Yeah.
great show, a great episode, very good episode, I should say. I'm not going to put it in the great, but now that we talk about it and I start thinking of the scenes, it's getting to great because
It
some of these
is, man.
performances were outstanding. And I'm glad that I wasn't the only one lost about this phone and the meat
No,
and all that. So
no.
good to know. Good to know.
It's funny, doing these podcasts for so long. You look at all the different recaps and reviews and everything, and some people are so certain of something, and then other people are like, I don't know. So it's always best to just say, hey, the show showed us something. Maybe we were right, maybe we're wrong.
Right.
Let's see what happens. Either way, I am just loving this show, and I do want to give a shout out to the location shooting, just the park, even the car stuff. Everything looks, the crash, the way he was pushed, the car was pushing the other car.
Oh yeah. That,
There's just so much visual delights in this too. I want to give credit to the director, cinematographers, all the production people because it looks great.
it
All
really
right,
does.
everybody. We're going to be back next week with a very special guest. My friend Amy and our friend Amy from Little Miss Recap is going to come on. Hopefully, I want Heath, you coming back too, right?
I'm
You're still
definitely
with me
gonna
now.
try. It
Yes.
depends
Right.
if I'm here every week unless Robbie needs me.
Okay. All right. We'll see. If you get a text, you may have to
I may get a
leave.
text from a phone. I don't know where it's coming from. It could be to my phone, it could be to your phone. Who knows?
Listen, I got to change my New York Jets uh, to Philadelphia Flyers over there. It's never going to be the Eagles, folks. But I'm going to have Amy. We will have Amy from Little Miss Recap on every Friday. It's on her Patreon now, but the first episode is up for free on Little Miss Recap. I'm talking about a show called Special Forces, which is a bunch of reality and sports stars. Randall Cobb is on this show. Eric
Wow,
Decker is
Randall
on this
Cobb.
show now. Like, there's crazy. It's just a silly show, but we have a lot of fun talking about it. Check out Amy; she'll be with us. Check out Around the Couch. We'll be covering. We'll talk about week 4, our week 5 picks this week. We just dropped the finale to Alien Earth, and let me tell you something, folks. We're less than a month away from the mayor of Kingstown returning. I'm trying to reach out. Hopefully,
Renovations.
Paramount Plus is going to, and renovations and some beautiful pop music, is maybe going to give us some interviews. Maybe we'll be able to talk to the Renner himself. Could you imagine if we got to talk to the Renner himself solo?
I mean,
I'm stunned just thinking about it.
he's using my bathroom right now, so
Oh,
I could talk to whenever I
hey,
want.
oh, kid show.
Hey,
Anyway, folks, DVR podcast, patreon.com/DVR. Thank you to the new Patreon members. Any last words, Solo?
no, great talking about it. This is such a great show. I'm just so exciting, and can't wait for next week.
All right. Peace out, everybody.